Good evening, collective. I'm here for another reading. Now, I have decided to stay because I stumbled on this place today, right? It's called the Priory in Dongara, Western Australia. And this old building, what year did you say? I can't remember when it was first built. Anyway, I will get that information. It was I think it was around the 1850s, 1860s. There's two sections to it. Anyway, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll get the information later. The main building was it's like a homestead, and they sold it. I think it was a homestead. It was an individual's building anyway. But they sold it, and I don't know if they actually sold it to the government or to the church, because they turned it into Priory, right? So there was nuns here, and it was a school. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of school it was. There was a message straight up. I got. Yeah, when I came in, I wrote some things down, so I've already got some words here. So, and I don't want to focus on this too much, but it was the first thing that pretty much came out, and it was horrible things happened here. And there's a name, Johnson. Somebody whose name was Johnson, and there was an uncle. And that was what they said, like don't disrespect us. It was really aggressively said. So there's something, and I pay my respects, right? Gratitude, right? And there was something about a bench. So the benches come out in different places. There was probably a standard course of action, like maybe kids were made to sit on a bench or something when they weren't doing the right thing or something. Anyway, and it says beside, and there's a machine. So machine came out, and then beside. And somebody said they once lived here, and touch. And then somebody said get away from here. It was kind of creepy. Anyway, and then I've got the words jumbled up a little bit the way I've written it, but they asked for my name, Heretic's Fork. Why they just come out and say Heretic's Fork, I don't know if you know what the Heretic's Fork is, and it was a form of torture where it was like this spike it's like a collar they put around people with spikes, and two here I think it was, and one spike here. And they had to walk around with their head up like that, and then so that if they just brought their head down, it would just puncture their throat. Why that's come up, who knows, right? Anyway, and then they said, I didn't believe this, and quite often spirits say that, they're going, oh, we can use this. This is this tool that we've got here, right? That they could actually be heard, So, and then they said compassion, and they said we don't like investigators. We don't like investigators. So anyway, they're the words I got. So this is Priory Hotel Dongara, right? It's a small monastery. And they're the words that came out when I got here. So somebody's uncle could have been significant here. Somebody's name Johnson. So the Priory, so the meanings of that, it is actually like a small monastery that somebody sort of like opened up on their own. I didn't get that full message, but it was sort of like like a little branch off of another dominion. I suppose you put it like that. It's a dominion. And they were Dominican nuns, if I got that right. So anyway, and the meaning of the word priory is earlier or prior experience. So this, yeah, and that's kind of like what I mean about like a branch coming off. So it's like somebody else's experience, and then people are following that, course of action. The way they influence, the way they teach, the way they discipline, that kind of thing. So earlier or prior experiencing, referring to knowledge or reasoning that it is independent of experience or observation. So yeah, that's right. So the person that's presenting has not actually had the experience or have the observations of something, but they're using them like a reference, right? Like, so they copy them, basically. Relying on logic and reason instead, and using logic and reason with somebody else's experience and observations, basically. And it says, knowledge considered to be true without being based on previous experience or observation, requires no evidence, translate from previous or the on before, or the on before. I've obviously written that wrong. Translate from previous, from before, somebody else's previous experience. This is like somebody taking somebody else's knowledge and then putting that into an action, right? So that was the making of this place. It was like somebody building a way of teaching, like introducing a new way of teaching from somebody else's experience and observations. They didn't actually have it themselves. They learnt from that person who actually did it, and then they go and do it. So they didn't actually have the experience. You see what I'm saying? So it's like an offshoot off of a church. So anyway, that's it. So that's what I'm drawing on. So I'm sitting out here, it's, unfortunately I can't show you where we are, but I'll show you tomorrow, right? I'll do another video, but I'm on the veranda at this monastery, and so I'm up on the veranda. I kind of can show you a little bit. You probably won't be able to see anything though, much. So I don't know how that looked to you, but I'll look at the video later. Probably won't look like much, right? But it's a pretty cool building. So I'm not actually in the monastery part. That's that part of the building over there. But there's kind of like a walkway built, like that, kind of like enclosed in glass between the two buildings. But it's really done like old-fashioned ways, like I think like 1940s or something like that. They did it. And so this part of it is actually the school, and she said they were classrooms, but it looks, because the rooms are quite big, so they were classrooms. I went to go and have a shower, right, when I got here. So I just stumbled on this place, right, when I was just cruising around Dongara, checking things out. And I went, oh, that looks really interesting. And I missed out on a really cool Nashville. I think they had a Nashville concert. I don't know who Nashville is or whether these are people from Nashville, but like music, country music, Nashville. But anyway, yeah, it was a big show on here last night. I missed out. Should have come a day earlier, right? And then I slept out in the bush with all them bugs. But anyway, I went for the shower. I went to have a shower, and then upstairs, because I'm upstairs, right? The water just come out like sideways, a few spricks, so it was all blocked up. And then there was no hot water either. And then the shower next to it, it was all leaking everywhere, and the tap came off and no water came out at all. So I don't know why they didn't know about that, but anyway, I told them about it, and I went and had a shower downstairs. It was a nice shower downstairs. It was pretty good. But they were like, showers and toilets for the kids that were in the school here. So we had the nuns' monastery there next door for spiritual practice. That's what they call it. And over here was the kids' classrooms. So let's see what stories come out, right? And I've just got this shitty light, so hopefully it's okay, all right? And we'll get into it. I'm going to start with the Moon Oracle. I was going to do the Crow deck and that too, but I don't know where it is. It must be in the car somewhere. I hope I haven't lost it. Seems to be a bit of a thing. I'm hoping my glasses, I'm still hoping my glasses are going to show up somewhere in there. But anyway, it was nice to, I thought, because I just really wanted to come and do a reading here, see what story comes out. So I got 2 nights here, and it's a beautiful place, Dongara. I never really, explored around it very much before, and I had a good look at it today, and it's really lovely, Got a really good feel. And that was where I was on the beach this morning as well. That was just, a part of Dongara. Very nice atmosphere. Small, I think mostly crave fisherman town. I think they do scallops and prawns and shit like that too. We've got somebody blossoming. No. Can you see it? Blossoming. That sounds good, doesn't it? And that somebody needs to use their discernment. This is picking the story, right? I should imagine there would be many stories that would come from a place like this. A lot of spirit here. So who wants to speak? Blossoming and discernment. Somebody's balancing out their chakras. And, it's like finding one's blossom. Somebody, finding, what their, and using their discernment to really hone in onto what their purpose is. Right? What do we do when we tell stories? It releases the energy that gets stuck in a place, right? So when they get to tell their story, they can release and they can let go of the place and leave the place, right? But it's, a lot of them get stuck because they're stuck in the story because of injustices or, depending on what way they passed away, right? So it's allowing people to move on. Abundance is in reverse. So Spirit was saying that, blossoming and discernment. That's getting to this story. Poverty is the main energy in this story. And we know that a lot of people that couldn't provide for their children and that put them into homes around that, well, they have done for, we're going to, so when this part of the building was built, I think it's 1940s, 1950s, but over there is like much earlier. Turn of the century, I think she said, around about that time. I don't think it was like 1850, and it doesn't look like the building was that. I don't know who the architect is, so I'll see if I can find out who the architect is. So, so the reasoning for the school was to do with poverty. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? About, with, Twiggy Forrest in the church is still now talking about eradicating poverty, right? Those stories that are being spoken about now was the same pattern and reasoning that they used then. And it was educating children that are in poverty as like a charity, but educating them for a role because they knew there was going to be a labour shortage in the agricultural industry. So this was tied to that. I mean, Dongara, it's all farming country around here, right? And the churches made a deal, so it wasn't one dominion either, it was different. I think, my mum went to Nazareth House in Gibraltar, and that was Catholic. But this is, what is it, Santeria? I don't know. Spanish dominion. Fill it in, like if you know what they're called. Because they were tied to the monks in New Norcia. But these are nuns here who were set up in the schools. So they also had to deal with the government departments as well. So it was to fill an actual labour shortage. That's why they offered this charity to educate children in poverty. And now they, at this present time, I haven't heard anything recently, but it was, I don't know when it was first written, but I've seen it in the Agenda 21 for Sustainable, the United Nations Sustainable Agenda, Sustainability Agenda. So what's written in that is the same as what happened then. Same strategy. Different times, so they use different tools as well, like there's different manipulations involved. But it's a manipulation. It's not like being straight out and honest and saying, well, we got this idea, we can help you guys out, come out of poverty. If you want to work, be educated, we'll give you this amount of it. Just be freaking honest about it and say, we're only going to give you this much education. And then people can actually make the decision for themselves if they want to go and try and find some other sort of education, right? Not be manipulated. Because when they're talking about poverty eradication, when you think about the words, it's always about the words, right? You've got to pay attention to the words that they use. And when they're saying words like poverty eradication, it's not saying like helping, I don't know how to word it, but like helping people to come out of poverty and by educating them, right? To find ways to create their own work and become entrepreneurial, like why not? But no, they had to manipulate and only educate these people for those tasks and keep them feeling in lack so that they keep working for them, right? Just giving them enough to get by, And so that they keep on working, thinking they're going to get, that they need more education. My dad educated himself pretty much, and he was very adaptable and entrepreneurial, and he always had an idea, He always knew what to do next. I've inherited that from him, and I have gratitude for that. Anyway, what else here, Spirit? Release. It's in reverse. Release is in reverse. So somebody hasn't been able to release something, and that's these energies here. Like they're still here. They haven't been able to move on, right? I can feel them here, right? There's a lot of energies, different energies. It's kind of... Great building, that. There's a bit of stuff in my room. I can't open the windows. You have to have the air conditioner on. I wish they'd made them so you can just open the window, right? Put some fly screen in it, Just... A lot of these old places, they don't allow the windows to open like they used to, and they stick air conditioners in and, then wedge the windows closed. Oh, we've got self-reflection. This is mirroring. Self-reflection. The past and present. Yeah, and didn't I say that the patterns were the same in the past and the present? Going back to the poverty eradication, it doesn't mean bringing people out of poverty and creating a lifestyle for them to be happier and more abundant. It's about actually eradicating people in poverty. You pay attention to the words they use, right? See, back then though, this is the difference. This is the difference. Back then, they needed the labourers, but now they don't because they've got robots that are much more efficient and big machinery. Oh, and that word was in it, right? Machinery was in that list of words. So the mechanisation of things, the beginning of that's when it would have been as well. The beginning of mechanisation, from horses to, engines. Yeah. So yeah, this is past and present reflections. Interesting. Take it as it resonates. If this is part of your story, let me know. Because there's a lot of patterns across the board, across the world, that are the same. Because they used the same strategies. So if you go over the different strategies that different groups, churches and whatnot, but they're all the same, even though they're different churches. You see what I mean? Because they were being funded to do it by the government, or those the government, those powers, the high identities. So now we've got purity. So it's a time to cleanse this away, right? So bringing the stories forward, it's a snow moon. I don't know what that means. Purity. Cleansing. This is a whole cleansing. Yeah, right. Now, didn't I say when people can release their story, they can let go, and then they can leave the place. And that's why they get stuck in places like this, because they've gone unexpectedly, or they're traumatised. There's something they're still holding on to, right, that they needed to be able to let go, but they're still in it. Some people don't even know that they're dead half the time. They say, am I dead? You've got to go, yeah. If you're talking to me here in the ether, yeah, you are. You know what I mean? So, it's like they're still in that time frame, but in our time frame, right? Now, discernment, purity and discernment. Now, this is assessing the situation. Assessing the situation. She's in the balloon. She's got the telescope. It's a half moon. Sorry about the light. It's not very good, is it? I think I must need to charge it up. It's number 9, which is the end of a cycle. So if people can release a story, it's the end of the cycle, and they can be free. Because it's like purgatory, right? They're stuck. They get stuck. Use discernment. So this is assessing this situation. some people have to go through purgatory because of what they've done, and so Spirit won't release them. Holy Spirit won't release them until they recognise it. Like, because they can be out there still feeling a certain way that was ungodly, I suppose. But if they haven't changed that and they're still feeling that way, that, you know, they want to hurt somebody or something like that, you know, like bad thoughts in whatever way, they have to repent, right? Even when they've passed over, they have to speak it out, get this message out. And so that's what I'm doing, right? It allows them to speak out. It's like one last chance sort of thing. So abundance in reverse. Realization. Wands. I can't read it, right? But it's the big keyhole. It's looking through the keyhole, looking to another dimension, so that they can get out of the keyhole. You know, the people that are stuck on this side, stuck in the building, this allows them to go to the other side of the keyhole. But you see, they have to speak out. So abundance in reverse. Yeah, so anyway, so that was in reverse, right? I think it's a number 3. Yeah, so they're stuck. They can't get to the other side. So discernment here from my perspective about who's allowed on the other side and who's not. That's not our choice to make, right? It's purely that person's free will, and just the observation. So what came out in that definition of priory was not having to observe or experience a situation. This is something to do with learning from others and not experiencing what they're learning themselves, and they haven't observed it themselves, but they are preaching it as such. So this is kind of like giving me, it's caused a blockage in this keyhole so that these people can't get to the other side. What is this? Okay, what is the reflection? What is self-reflection here? Self-reflection. It's in reverse as well, and it says attraction. It says attraction, but it's in reverse. This is stagnancy. This is the poverty mindset, because they were being trained to be in that poverty mindset, right? It's a school of poverty mindset. That's what they were teaching, or programming. I'll say programming. You know, we know that a lot of these institutions use the words programs, you know, in their curriculums, you know. It's programming. So the programming was poverty, so that they will keep working for them. Attraction. So they don't attract, right? So you can't manifest if you've got that lack mindset that you'll never have. If you think you're never going to get it, you never will, right? I always used to say that to my kids, you know. You got to think you can do it before you can do it, you know. But you got to think you can and not just assume you can't. But this was like a school to keep people in that poverty mindset. Like that's their role because of their bloodlines or whatever. But it doesn't have to be like that. But that's the programming. So this is breaking this programming. You see what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. So I'm going to give the videos I do here, I'll publish them and I'll send the addresses to the owners of the building so that they can understand as well. Power is in reverse. Yeah, it's just like taking the power away. This was an education that took the power away from the children. You know, because you keep people under control. They don't have power for themselves. They have to do as they're told, right? I mean, we were brought up like that, you know, just drummed into our heads, you know. You do as you're told and you get what you're given, and that's that. That's how it was for us. But see, my mum was brought up in an institution as well. It was Catholic. And it was designed to keep those people in poverty. Oh, my battery's going to run out, so I'm not going to make this long. We've got balance. So things are going to balance out by doing this for these people here. The darkness. Yeah, what's in the shadows? They said they were in the shadows. Just sitting there like that bunny rabbit. Waiting to get the next instruction. So they don't know, they're stuck in the darkness. See the little bunny? I'm trying to put this light over him. We'll put him a halo over him. There. That's the reflection on the card. Yeah, I'll give him a halo. Let's give him some good energy. Right? So they can move on. Come out of the darkness. Some of them were saying they were hiding in the shadows. And this is the unexpected. So something unexpected is about to happen. These two people look like they're looking through a portal, right? It's like that keyhole. So it's like seeing a future, seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, coming out of the dark shadows. What's going on over there? Coming out of the dark shadows, here we have a portal. See how they're looking in? Just looking through the portal and seeing the other side. They haven't stepped through it yet. Wow. Okay, I'll leave that one there. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see if we can clarify a little bit with the tarot, see what comes out. Like I said, I wanted to use the crows, but I don't know where they are. They'll be in the landy somewhere. This light is terrible. Sorry about that. What is that? A Six of Pentacles. That's balance. Did I say before something was balancing out? Balance. And a death. Balance and a death. A proper moving on, departing this realm. Yeah. Yeah, they were a bit defensive. The people that were saying, do not disrespect us. That was like very official, like we're respectful, right? We're just allowing people to release. You as well. Death and balance. Balancing things out for people. Yeah, star. The star. Shining bright like a diamond. It's like giving me like, when people would say, when people pass away and they pick a star in the sky and they think of that person every time they look at that star. That's what this is giving me, and this is giving me that energy to move on and be that star, because they've been stuck here all this time. Oh. The Eight of Cups, walking away. Don't know what those noises are over there. It's across the road. The Chariot. Walking away and getting in a chariot. Releasing. This is releasing the energies. The Prince of Pentacles in reverse. The Prince of Pentacles is a slow, solid offer, right? But like a slow offer, but solid. But it's in reverse, so this is no offer. So the Chariot's walking away, and the Knight is not doing anything. It's like this stuck energy, Spirit. Stuck energy. I should imagine it's hard to Wish fulfillment, we got the sun. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Da 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 da. Shining a light on a situation. Exposure. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse, exposing the poverty. Shining a light on the poverty. Okay, so they're saying they were shining a light on the poverty. You know, making people aware of it. I see that. Respect. The star. The moon is in reverse, so that's exposure, right? Something that was done in the dark. It's over. It's over, you know, because they were in the shadows hiding, right? So they said. I hope I'm being loud enough, but I'm trying to not be too loud because there's people in the room right next to me. This is what is it? Six of Wands, but it's in reverse. There's no victory for someone here. Something didn't work out for someone. So this is shining a light on this situation, on the poverty, and how it was unfair. The Chariot. And didn't I say about, this is giving me that mechanisation? The mechanisation, the beginning of the mechanisation. But before that, what is the Eight of Cups here for, please, Spirit? Eight of Cups, Eight of Hearts. Okay. Strength. The strength to walk away. Gaining the strength to walk away from a situation. Or run away, like get the hell out of there, away, because it's a Chariot on his horse. He's moving quickly. Remember, there was a focus on the mechanisation, the machine. This is the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is getting away. This is freedom and getting out of those bonds. This is actually breaking the generational curse of poverty by exposing this. Yep. This is generational change. Getting out of poverty. Breaking the chains. You know, this is the swords. Eight of Swords in reverse. And with the Chariot, you know, getting away, we're breaking free. Getting away from the chain. Like, which is the place, the building, where whatever was traumatic for people, being stuck in poverty, and whatever traumas that entailed, this is a release here for them. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and this is sort of like never getting there, you know what I mean? It's like that Knight of Pentacles that never got there, never made it, was always in poverty from generation to generation. Never quite getting there, but working your ass off, right? And then they keep shifting for people like that, you know, like that are in the labour industries, and keep shifting the ballpark on when they can retire and get a pension, when they've been paying taxes all their lives, you know what I mean? Never getting ahead and just waiting for, it's like waiting for the pension, and half the time when they get the pension and they keep moving older and older, that, people on the top don't realise how much other people have to work physically, and, by the time they get their pension, they're physically unable to enjoy their lives because they're all worn out. So there should be a balance of workloads in different areas, you know what I mean? Not just all for like one group of people. I'm putting them into that category as generations of slaves. We got the 9 of Swords in reverse, so this is no remorse. Yeah, there's no remorse here for somebody breaking free. And why should there be? We've got the 8 of Pentacles. So that's work. And the 10 of Swords is reversed. The workload was the 10 of Swords. And then it's reversed by releasing this. The Magician. Manifesting the release of the spirits here. And of course, it's got to be God's will too, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen if somebody's like, bound to be in purgatory because of, like they might be a really bad person, but that's not who I'm reading here. Magician. Seven of Cups. 7 of Hearts. Illusions. So it's all smoke and mirrors. It was all smoke and mirrors, right? Claiming to be one thing and so that they can be used. Queen of Wands in reverse. This could be a nun. Remember, they were funded to do it, to teach, to discipline in that way that their leaders instructed them to do, because it wasn't their experience, remember? It wasn't their observations and the way they taught. It wasn't theirs. They were just copying. So they might have been doing it wrong, who knows? Whatever. Yet we know it wasn't the right thing to do, right? That's manipulation, that's social manipulation. Sociology, how do you say that? Sociology. I was interested in that when I was studying. So I studied a fair bit on sociology. That's what this is. Trying to bend and manipulate a society to be, how one small group wanted to be, been cut out. Two of Swords, Two of Swords. I'll do another reading on this tomorrow, and it'll have a different, like we'll see whether we can get some individual stories. So this is an overall story. So tomorrow, and this is the Devil in reverse. See, it's the release of that devil energy, so that it doesn't, like history repeats itself if it's not recognised or seen, That's why it's important to understand history, because otherwise we'll make the same mistakes, right? The patterns are the same, and here we've got the High Priestess. Oh, I'm going to run out of battery, so I've got only 5% left. So this was the High Priestess. So this I get is a nun. So with that nun, I'll just hopefully we've got a Page of Wands. So this High Priestess may give us a story tomorrow, and we've got Archangel Michael's Sword of Truth, and she may be talking about the liars. Okay, so I'll leave it there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.